Hello and welcome back again, fans, to It's All About Racing. This is the last of the 7 of the Monte Carlo 400 cars that partook in the 2001 Looney Tunes promotion. This being the number 1 car of Steve Park, who heads Slyvester the Cat and Tweety the Tweety Bird. And also Pennzoil was his long time, and I do mean long time, sponsor. A very good car, ran very, very well. Anyhow, this set came out in 2001 as a promotion that Chevrolet did in coordination with Richmond International Raceway for what they were going to call the Monte Carlo 400 at the time. And they had 7 of the Monte Carlos adorn the figures of Looney Tunes. It was such a popular promotion. Everything they had sold out almost instantly. They re-released the set again a year later, and they called it the Return of the Revenge of Looney Tunes, and then had a third release of these exact same cars, just without the Looney Tune figure, the jewel case, and everything else. Just a much cheaper version of a re-release of the car. And then a couple years later, they came out with another Looney Tunes thing. I mean, it just went on and on. They milked Looney Tunes as long as they could. But these are the original. These are the most valuable. These come in what I call the big boxes that are complete with the figurine and everything else. Folks, these are 124 scale diecast. They are limited edition. This one, they made quite a few of. This was one of 5,790 pieces. And it does feature Slyvester the Cat and Tweety Bird, who you see sitting behind the helmet. If you remember these two, Slyvester the Cat is always trying to eat Tweety Bird. Never does, but tries. So anyhow, cute characters. The characters, as you can see, adorn the box itself, the Revell Collection. And then you have something almost unheard of in 124 scale NASCAR cars, and that is a 124 scale car on a base with an acrylic jewel cover. I mean, just doesn't happen. But did happen for this collection. You go ahead and take that off. And there you have a very cool, very nice, very heavy yellow diecast Chevrolet Monte Carlo. Dripping with detail. Hundreds, and I do mean hundreds of plastic parts in these cars. Nothing like we buy today. The things that I collect, for example, my 143 collection of Sparks and Look Smart cars and all the rest, are nothing compared to these things. And I do mean nothing, just smaller scale. But this be a Pennzoil themed car. You see it all over. Plus, you see Tweety Bird right there over Snap-on by Steve's number 1 number. If you take a look in the cabin, you will see the net, you'll see the driver's seat, you'll see the steering wheel, stick shift. Yeah, they had stick shifts in these cars, clutches, all those things in there. You got the Rill's collectible thing. You'll see Steve's signature on the base of the base. And the front of the car will feature both Slyvester and Tweety, obviously opposing each other. The Monte Carlo 400, boy, do they look mean. And they always are. They're always going at it. He's trying to eat Tweety Bird. Tweety Bird's trying to get away. Just the way it was. And there's a good look at some of the details of the inner cabin. I mean, really nicely done, guys. They did beautiful work on these cars. The underside, the engine work is even better. And this takes a look at the passenger side. Really nicely done wheels. You've got rubber tires, really well done wheels. All the various sponsors that they have, typical of that, Snap-on, and there you see Slyvester sneaking around the number 1 car in bright yellow. And you go around to the back, you can see some interior there in the trunk area. And in the trunk itself is where you have the fuel cell, and this takes on you see the Monte Carlo logo on the front of the trunk, and you see, Slyvester got Tweety. He got him there in the corner of the trunk. He's got him in his hands, but he won't eat him. And there you have, there's a look at the fuel cell. Ain't that cool? Neat look at the car as we spin it around. Now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and take it off the base. I'll roll it on its side, and I'll show you the underside of the car. And these things don't sit up real well, so I have to hold it up with one hand. But the underside is absolutely amazing. I mean, you just look at all the small moving parts that you can see. Some of them stationary, but all of them put in place, all of them connected. Springs, coils, rocker arms. Oh, the exhaust tubes, the transmission line. Up here you can see the radiator and the engine detail. Speaking of, let's see what we can see with the engine detail. Let's see if we can give it the trusty flick to open it up. Did it work? Does it open? Nope, I'm going to have to try that again. Hold on. You have to reach under the engine and stick a pin or something like that. In this case, I stuck a brush in there to push the hood up to open it. And for some reason with these Revell cars, they just do not, the hinges just do not want to stay up. Very frustrating, but you can see good engine detail in there. It's always impressive. It is really, really neat radiator detail, spark plugs, you name it, and you can see under the hood. In this case, they have Pennzoil, the sponsor there. You get a good looking at the front of the car. And this is a very, very nicely done model. 1/24 scale, diecast, Steve Park, #1, Slyvester and Tweety, the last of the collection of the 1/24 scale Looney Tune cars. Folks, thank you for watching. Watch the other videos, check out the other neat cars, see how they all interlink. Take care. See you for the next video.